My name is Jules Peacocke. I'm a proud hairdresser and a salon owner. I've worked in hairdressing since 1989. I've run the gamut of the hairdressing career path.
Hi, I'm Amayika and this is Jules.
Hi, I'm Jules and this is Amayika from Hairdressing We Have a Problem. We thought we'd do a little update interlude. I think we have hit our 6th episode this week and starting to get a bit of feedback, which has been amazing. I've been overwhelmed by support. Thank you everyone who sent us a message and is enjoying the show. It was an absolute privilege to make and I learned a lot on the way through. So yeah, we thought we'd do a little update.
Yes. So basically, Jules, what I was interested in, I know you said the feedback, but has the apart from, congratulations and all that kind of stuff, has the feedback fallen into any particular categories or, what kind of things have cropped up so far?
Well, firstly, I think there's been a lot of resonance through my personal networks and my colleagues who are salon owners. I think a lot of people are saying it's great to start this conversation and that it's a really important conversation. So, yeah.
And then also what I saw was that it's relevance for all small businesses.
Yeah, I think, outside the industry, we're getting people going, look, it's happening in our industry as well. There's no protections and people are really struggling, building businesses in small law firms, accountancy, lots of different areas that deal in client services. And so the feedback's been huge.
Oh, great. So are there any particular episodes that, now that, there's been some distance, and I know we haven't released everything, but are there any particular episodes that stand out in terms of, now that you've got a bit of distance between it?
Look, I think, and I'm sure everyone who's listening has come on the journey with me, and we start in a pretty humble and dark place, and we're really trying to understand how we can work our way forward and enable our business to, especially we're still coming out of COVID. I think COVID hasn't gone away for any of us in salon ownership or service industry, where we rely on people and our teams to do the work, and people are still getting sick. We've got clients still getting sick. There's a lot of interruptions in cash flow, especially with some new economic moves and inflation and increases in people's mortgages. So we're about to head into another challenging time for people in our space who own businesses. So there was a huge amount of learning for me going on the journey. It was a really intense time and trying to really think about and understand from all the different conversations that we had what was happening. I do feel like I came out the other side with a clearer picture. I think everyone in salon ownership at some stage is faced by theft in their business, and what's becoming clearer is that the theft is a major problem for the survival of professional businesses in Australia. Next week I've got a conversation with David Bosher from Destroy the Hairdresser in the US, and that is a fantastic conversation, and I'm sure everyone will get a lot out of that in terms of where things are currently in the US and what's actually happening in terms of the sole trader model and how changes are really disrupting again that whole industry in particular, and stylists are now really starting to flow back into salon environments. But what we really need to be thinking about is, what does our salon environment look like? How agile and how flexible are we as entrepreneurs and salon owners? And how are we going to adapt our models going forward? I think we're very hamstrung in Australia with the legal requirements of employment. And I think that those aspects of which are in some ways out of our industry's control, because we don't really have the ear to government, but these are the problem areas that need to change. And I think one of the big insights for me coming out the other side is, how are we going to change our employment contracts to ensure they're legal, but they become more flexible?
Right. Okay.
And enable stylists to take a bit more personal power and control in terms of their personal incomes, how they contribute to overall to the business, and actually become more educated.
Right.
Because
educated about what?
About how to make money.
Right.
Really, that's what it comes down to, is there's this struggle between staff creating income and salons being able to afford to pay those staff what they want. So there's this area where we're not meeting, where the stylist is saying, hey, I want to earn this much, and the salon's going, well, I've only got this much to pay you. And we've got a whole lot of infrastructure changes we need to make in pricing models and employment structures.
Right. And how much, I mean, this is a left field question, how much do you feel an individual's poverty consciousness comes into play?
It's huge. Hairdressers, I would say 95% of hairdressers, it could be higher, have completely, how do I put this? It's poverty consciousness. They have a poverty mentality about what they're worth.
Right.
And it's not just coming from one place, but that is the overall environment. So they don't think they should charge, but they think they should be paid.
Right.
And, salon owners are in there as well. Like, we're all in the mix here. We're not charging correctly. So that means we can't pay our staff correctly. We've got a government issue that is controlling how we employ and in the terms of employment, which means that there's huge protections for the employee, which is great, and they should stay in place, but there's no room for flexibility of employment contract within the guise of legitimate legal contracts. So people are working their way around these issues and setting up, in the example of salon suites, they're setting up licensing agreements. Has it been tested? Is it legal? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but salons don't have that opportunity to do that if they're employing staff. But maybe we need that opportunity to say, okay, well, we're going to set up a new type of employment contract which meets the National Employment Standard and the terms of employment as a baseline. But for the stylist that wants to elevate and grow, have flexibility about how much time they have in their lives, if that's really important for them, then we need to be able to create those contracts. And honestly, as a salon owner, I can see where this is going. I mean, we work in the top end of the market, and I've got employees coming to me, they want $100,000 a year as a base salary. I think that's a reasonable salary, but they don't know how much they have to make to get there. So there's been a lack of financial modelling and education for our stylists, and we need
even business owners.
And business owners.
Because that ties into this education piece about marketing, and I'm even seeing it in the way the software that we're using has been created. It's all about retention, is all about the offer. So like, if somebody doesn't come back, most people's only answer to that is, I'll offer you a discount. I mean, people are so immune to discounting, that it's like, you could give them your left arm or your right tit, I don't care. But like, they're going like, yeah, nah, I'm not interested.
Well, they're expecting you to be discounted. One of the big changes that we did in our business was to price on time. Now, most people are pricing on services provided, and we've, as an industry, we've educated the customer and the consumer that if they say, I'm having my hair blow dried, then they've got a price already in their head, because of businesses like Blow Dry Bar or high volume businesses where the work is the quality and the value in the work is low.
Right.
they've probably been given 15 minutes. But when they're coming into higher end businesses, they're comparing us to those environments. And we're going, well, actually, if I've got 30 minutes, I can do a haircut and the value of that haircut is $140. Why would I sell a blow dry for $55?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not going to do that.
No.
So we need to change the conversation around, if we talk about pricing, let's look at what our time is worth. We actually need to price on how much time we are spending, not on what we are doing. And then we need to add the product costs on top. So,
and can I say it now?
Yeah, please.
Experience. So I don't know whether I mentioned this in the first episode, but typically when you work in an industry for a very long period of time, you kind of get a pay rise and you work your way through. And but the trouble is even if you're like a professional or anything, the cost as you gain in experience and quality and all that, your prices increase. But for some reason, we've got this mentality that, or there's a mentality out there that says, I shouldn't be paying more than, $50 for a blow dry, $80 for a haircut. And I'm there going like, but you have 25 years experience and the quality of your work is really good.
Well, if the quality of your work is really good, I mean, I don't think it just comes down to experience, actually. I think it comes down to how good are you? If you're good at what you do, you need to charge for the time that you spend doing it. Now, that could be a stylist coming out of an apprenticeship who's really shit hot. They're great at what they do. Because you can have a stylist that's maybe been in the industry 30 years and maybe they haven't evolved themselves. Maybe they haven't done the training. Maybe they haven't got the care factor that's required. So experience shouldn't be judging price. Demand is what judges price. But the problem is that even when you're a great stylist with demand, you're competing in a poverty-conscious environment where stylists are going, well, maybe I'm working from home. Oh, my employer pays me $50 an hour. That's what I'll charge for a service. But that's okay when you're at home or maybe working from a garage where you don't pay tax or you don't pay super. You've got very low costs and you're competing on price. But if you're working in a professional environment, you can't run your business like that. Like there's no money to pay for the environment. There's no money to pay for all of the insurance, the work cover.
And I guess that's the other thing is that it's odd because this industry doesn't seem to package that up into their thought process for, pricing services. And so we've done a lot of work on pricing and figuring.
And we're in a constant argument on pricing. Be clever and clear about your market and understand who your market is. Now, I'm on Instagram. I follow lots of different salons. Everyone is doing the same marketing. They are.
That's fine by me.
It blows my mind how many people want a balayage service in Australia because that is all that people are doing. And that's fine because...
that's all that women with long hair think they have as an option for colour. Like, oh, I better get balayage done.
I mean, you're competing against each other and it all looks exactly the same.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So I think, we need to have an identity moment where we find out who we are. We look at where it's all going wrong and we actually start to own some stuff and we start to... rather than putting lipstick on a pig about everything and everything is shiny and beautiful, which is all what our industry is about, let's sort of deep dive a little bit and go, let's scratch the surface on some stuff because it's all crumbling underneath. And it's not creating a sustainable place where, as an industry, we're going to come out the other side better and more professional. That's not where we're going.
No.
So, big sigh. However, the conversation
still going
with David Boscher, you will absolutely love. I think I really loved it. And I think that it's a precipice or a turning point for a different worldview on hairdressing, and I think we all need to go there.
Great. Thank you for listening, and we hope to
Thank
see you
you.
again soon.
Yeah, and listen, like, we want to hear your questions and your thoughts. So please, if you can reach out to us, you can DM Hairdressing We Have a Problem on Instagram, or you can go to our website, www.hairdressingwehaveaproblem.com.au, and we'll see you there. We want to hear from you so we can talk about some of the stuff that's coming up for people, and how we can all come together on it and maybe come up with some solutions.